I believe Thielen will be joining us here in a couple of moments. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is a man who is a incredible entrepreneur.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
An incredible American dream story.
Yeah, for sure.
Had to pay for the opportunity to work out, to potentially one day work out for the people that he's supposed to work out for, to get into the NFL in his home state of Minnesota. He makes it to the Vikings, makes the Pro Bowl, becomes a mainstay. Now he's a superstar. I believe he had For the Brand on his cleats this past weekend as the Minnesota Vikings took on the Indianapolis Colts and played about a quarter and a half of good football.
Oh, yeah.
Enough good football to mount the largest comeback in the history of the fucking NFL, down 33-zip at halftime. This man, friend of the program, incredible golfer, Pro Bowl wide receiver, Adam Thielen.
Adam!
What's up, guys?
Adam,
Yes, sir.
do you have anything to say to me or any other Colts fans?
What happened?
No!
Oh, no.
Thielen!
Tell us.
Did you see my video?
I was wearing, yes, I did. It was unbelievable. But I was
my
wearing the cleats, and I'm thinking, man, like, I'm going to wear these cleats, and we're going to get rocked 33-0. That's not good. But thankfully, we came back and got it done somehow.
Yeah, somehow. Yeah, seems like never been done before.
No, that's right.
Who knows? They'll never be touched again, I don't think.
Probably
No
not.
chance.
With the way the NFL is, it feels like 2-score leads are not safe anymore. Even 17 points, not really safe anymore. That happens on a regular basis. 33 points, no matter what chapter football is in.
Game's over.
So Pat Peterson gave you guys a motivational speech and said, all we need is 5 touchdowns, baby. That's all. I've seen you guys do that all the time. All we need is 5. Was there something in the locker room that Kevin O'Connell said, Kirk Cousins said, maybe you said? Was there any adjustments? What was the flip of the switch in the second half after getting, shut out in the first half? And now it's a historic memory that'll probably be in the Hall of Fame forever. And thank you for wearing my cleats, or thank you for wearing For the Brand on cleats. We're doing it to a team that I'm famous.
No, honestly, I think everybody kind of had the same message. Like, screw what the score is. Screw what the outcome of this game is going to be. Let's just go out there and, show them who we really are. Like, that's not us out there, obviously. So let's go show them who we really are. Let's get some momentum going to the next game. Again, no matter what actually happens. And then, Pat P with the, hey, guys, just need 5 touchdowns. That's all you need. The best part about that was every single time we scored and we came to the sideline, he would reiterate where we were at. So, guys, 4 more touchdowns. That's all you got. All right, guys, 3 more touchdowns. That's all you got, And then 2 more touchdowns. That's all you got. And once we kind of got to that point, it felt more real. And we felt like there was a real chance once we got some momentum.
You scored a touchdown to obviously make it 36-28. And that was when I started getting the text messages in the booth. It was immediately after your touchdown. Because I told the boys, I say, hey, I think Thielen's wearing For the Brand. Let's keep an eye out for it. And then the next text I got was, we've kept an eye on Thielen. He actually just scored to make it 36-28. Just a heads up. I'm like, oh, what happened out of nowhere? Congrats on the win. I'm obviously happy for you and all of our friends over there. But once again, this is a story that's going to be told probably forever. AJ, your question for Thielen.
Yeah, Thielen, did anything change from the first to the second half, schematically, anything that they did or you guys did, or did you guys just play much better?
I think it was getting back to that, this sounds like coach speak, but getting back to that complementary football, right? Defense gets a stop, 3 and out. We get a punt return that, sets us up with a good field position. And then for us to have a short field, have a couple explosive plays to just go down there and score. And then once you get that momentum on your side and you start kind of playing, again, that complementary football, especially in our building with that place going nuts. I mean,
could you feel it? Could you feel it gaining steam? Could you feel everyone starting, as you scored every time? Did you feel like the momentum, here we go, more and more people are getting into it?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. We always talk about it each week. There we go. We heard a lot of that. Probably the loudest. That's pretty unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it was pretty crazy as we got that momentum. It just was crazy, the intensity in that building. You could tell that every play after we scored maybe the first touchdown, maybe going to score the second touchdown. You could feel the intensity was hey, every play is like Super Bowl for us, and it's that intense in this building, which was actually a really cool feeling. And again, probably the loudest I've ever heard that building when probably I would say maybe 5% of that building actually had left at halftime and couldn't get back in the building. So for it to
Good
be
for
that
him.
loud with not at full after everyone leaving was interesting.
Incredible stadium, incredible fan base. What a moment for all of you. I was told momentum wasn't a.
Doesn't exist.
We had a full conversation about momentum last week, and then literally this weekend we were talking to Lou Anarumo about it, and then what the Bengals defense did in the second half against Tom Brady to kind of turn that whole thing around. What you guys were able to do, I guess, because there's no science behind it, people just refuse to believe that momentum's a thing. What do you think of momentum, and how would you describe it to somebody that maybe just got dropped on Earth?
Well, first of all, momentum in football is an absolute real thing.
No,
you're wrong.
No.
I was told it doesn't
It-
exist.
No.
Unbelievable, actually, how much it matters. And again, I think that's why it's so important to have that intensity from the start of a game. Sometimes guys want to like feel out the game. They want to kind of get into the game and go. But I think for young guys to realize, like, man, like momentum's a real thing. So like if we get behind the 8 ball here and they start gaining momentum, like watch out, it's going to be 33-0. Again, it just makes it more intense in beginning of games to say, hey, like guys, we can't let this momentum go away from us because it is 100% a real thing, and I will argue to my death on that.
Yeah, we all will. And I'm happy you stepped away from giving a definition because Ty did it the other day, and it was maybe one of the greatest definitions of momentum of all time. Things just are seemingly going your way that didn't go your way before, and it's a series of events that lead you to believe that it'll continue or something. I forget what it was.
Yeah, I don't know if I could even define it
You
again.
pulled it.
Yeah.
You pulled it
Perfect.
straight out of your ass. It was one of the best. In Lou Anarumo, I think that's what inspired him in that second half. Actually, the
I hope
Bengals fans
so.
should be thinking about maybe thanking you.
I hope so.
It is so real. It's so much fun to kind of watch a team get it, and it's terrible to be on the other side of it. Darius has a question for you, Thielen. You two know each other.
What's up, Adam? Hey,
What's
so
up?
obviously you've been around for a while, playing a bunch of different offenses, different quarterbacks. I just want to ask you your experience as a wide receiver in the NFL. Have you dealt a lot with hand signals, having to learn them? And are there different systems, different quarterbacks, that there was more or less of that? And then at what point in your career did you get comfortable when you felt like, hey, you know what, I'm not thinking out here, I'm just playing at this point?
Yeah, I think there is. It's really probably more of a system thing. There probably is some quarterbacks that maybe want to use this hand signals more, but I think it's every system that I've been in has had like different purposes for hand signals, and we do use a lot of them now because we are a team that likes to get on the ball and use that momentum. Get a first down, get on the ball, and go quick. So we do use hand signals, but there's been times in my career where it was like quick hand signals, maybe just for one receiver, so no one else is seeing it. And it's kind of like more of the Rodgers thing where he's just going to signal out quick to the one receiver and might be a quick screen or a quick bubble in a run play that he knows he's got safety pressure or something, and he just wants to spit the ball out quick. So there is a little bit of that, but yeah, I think as far as when did I feel comfortable? I mean, I think once you get experience in this league, you start to get more comfortable. I mean, I think it's not necessarily experience playing, but experience making plays. Experience coming back from 2 scores down, and then you say, okay, next time I'm in that situation, we've done this before. I have this experience. So I think the more experience you have of actually going out there and doing it, making plays, that's when you really settle in and get confidence. And for me, that was probably around year 3, year 4, maybe year 3 for me on special teams, just go out there and just go play free and not have to think about, oh man, if I make a mistake, I'm going to get cut. Because I know your first couple of years, especially as an undrafted guy, you're thinking a little bit too much maybe about
Really?
trying to be perfect.
Why'd you do that? That's not normal.
Yeah, what? Only in Minnesota.
Yeah, that must only.
Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of guys get cut for making a couple mistakes, but
That's in Minnesota.
Yeah.
That's in Minnesota. That's not in Green Bay. That's in Minnesota.
That's right.
We've seen it in
Maybe just
Indianapolis.
not
New
so
England.
much as
New
NFC
England, it's
North.
been seen.
doesn't happen in Green Bay though, huh?
Charlotte.
Well, it does. It does.
Much to your surprise,
no
it does.
idea.
There's signals, and there are some younger players that don't necessarily are able to less thinky, more athlete-y take over when they're younger, which never would have guessed in the NFL, but that was something that was written about Aaron Rodgers. This guy's a fucking asshole. Hey, Thielen, did you hear? He makes his receivers learn these hand signals, and Jordan Love runs it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a meeting where they have to go up and they have to show the hand signals to everybody else on the team. They kind of get put on a stage. So Aaron's like hazing these kids. You know what I mean? Every single week. That's what I heard.
Well, I will say this: if you do know the hand signals, you're probably getting the ball. So maybe figure out the hand signals, and you might get more opportunities.
No.
Oh, you're saying you figure it out?
No, you're wrong.
Aaron's supposed to. Gee, sorry about it. Thielen, stop talking. That's NFC North rival.
on.
AJ, your question for Thielen.
Hey, when you mentioned earlier that in that Colts game in the second half, it felt like every play was the Super Bowl at times. Like, how valuable is that for your team to get a win in that situation? Like, I would imagine that gives you a lot more to lean on than, say, you went out there and you beat them 40-0. Like, you guys had a situation in the second half where you knew every single play mattered. Don't you think you can take that and use that in the playoffs?
Yeah, 100%. I think there's been a few of those situations for us this season that we can kind of look to, we can kind of lean on. I think that there was times in that game, in the Colts game, that we were kind of leaning on some of our experiences earlier in the season when we kind of were down 2 scores late in the fourth quarter against the Bills and come back and win. So I think it's every time you have those experiences, again, you have something to lean on to say, hey, guys, like, we really aren't out of this. You know, I know that this would be the NFL's largest comeback in the history of the NFL. I get that. But, hey, let's go out there and just put one place, keep stacking plays. Let's gain some momentum and see what happens. And when you do that, like you said, when you do that, you definitely can use that moving forward and gain some confidence from that.
Yeah, but what everybody's saying is you guys can't put 4 quarters together, can you? What's that? Why is that? Why did the first two? Why do you think the first half happened against the Vikings there? You just kind of overlooked the Colts? Things weren't clicking? What do you think it was?
That's one thing about this team is we definitely don't overlook anity. We know how difficult it is to win in this league. There's a lot of experienced guys in our locker room that understand that this game is it'll test you mentally and physically every single time you're out there. It doesn't matter who your opponent is. But I think it's just, I don't know. It's tough. We haven't figured that out because there's been pretty much every week for us, it's been one quarter or one side of the ball or kind of a collective effort of just not doing things the way that we normally do it to have success. So we got to keep continue to go to work. But the good thing is, again, we have that kind of resiliency to kind of lean on to say, hey, I don't care what happens in the first quarter or what happens in the second quarter, or if we have a negative play or a bad turnover or something like that, we can come back from that and we can lean on that.
People are saying that that's a weakness for you guys. I feel like that's a strength for you guys. You guys have been able to win games whenever everybody hasn't played their best football yet. And whenever you play into the playoffs, like that's when everybody hopefully is playing their best football. But there's been a lot of conversation about the Vikings. They're not going to be able to play with the good teams. They're not going to be able to go down 33 to the good teams when it matters and everything. And people are going to talk shit or whatever. But I think it's a good thing to experience those and to get a win in those games to kind of just move to the next week and have that. I think it's you're building the team on marble. There's a chance you guys get to the fucking number one. Hey, it's still all out there right now. Jalen Hurts with a sprained shoulder. Yep. The line moved from the Eagles being favored by 1.5 to the Cowboys being favored by 4.5. So a lot of people are thinking Jalen's missing this week. How many weeks will he miss going forward? Although Sirianni said he's different than us. He's going to heal differently than us. You guys have a chance to get the number one seed in the NFC. Hey, number one seed in the NFC is potentially still out there right now with how everything else goes. Could you imagine that stadium that would be epic for the Vikings this season when nobody could have seen this coming into the year.
Oh, no doubt. Our fans are hungry for it. They want as many home games as possible in the playoffs, and so do we. Obviously, we know how important it is to play at home, but we know that this week is huge for us. We know that every week, kind of coming down the stretch here, is going to be huge because if it's not the 1 seed, it's the 2 seed. Like we need to get the best possible seed possible, and everyone's just saying that, obviously, but we
you're
really
in it
matter.
though. You guys are in it though. 11-3. You guys are in the meat of it right now. 11 wins already, dude. Congrats on a fucking.
Yeah.
You guys have really been killing it. Tone has a question for you, Thielen.
How come Wink Martindale called KOC Harry Styles?
Yeah, what's that all about? And do you think he is Harry Styles?
It's a compliment.
Well, yeah, I didn't say it was a negative, AJ.
That's a superstar.
He said why?
I said why.
I think Wink said like if Kevin O'Connell was around Ted Lasso's wife.
Yeah.
Like, there's a chance. I think that's who he was alluding to, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He called him handsome. To AJ's point, he was calling him handsome. Is that what you took out of that, AJ?
Yeah.
How about you, Thielen? What do you think he meant by that?
I would say that coach should take that as a compliment, but don't tell him I said that because I definitely don't want to compliment coach at all.
Oh, he's got a little too much?
Yeah, you got to be careful with him. You don't want to get him too high,
Former player, quarterback.
Yeah, for him, you got to break him down, build him back up, break him down, build him back up.
Hey, Coach, great work. Down 33-zip in the first half. Thanks.
Yeah.
Good
play calling.
He was fist pumping all over the sideline on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
He's awesome. What is he like day to day? Now, obviously, we've chatted with you about him earlier. We've talked to like Pat Peterson about him. We talked to Kirk Cousins about him. But now, from your standpoint, this deep into it, what have you learned about KOC as a head coach in the NFL? He's not getting anywhere near the amount of hype as other coaches are. This is his first year being a head coach, former player, and you guys are 11-3, sitting in the middle of it, potentially becoming the number one seed in the NFC, seeing how things end up. What are your thoughts on him? And I loved what you just said there. Like, let's not get crazy. That means you have a great relationship with him. Is the whole team like that? And what have you seen from him this year?
Well, I'll say this. I think he gets this reputation of like this player's coach, like super friendly, fun guy to be around, all this stuff. But he's a dog. And you can see that when you start seeing some of these like mic'd up things, and he's out there. He's competitive as anybody on that field, and he's not afraid to get after you to make it known that what you're doing isn't good enough and up to your standards. So it's a great really it's a great strength of his that he can just be that kind of that player's coach, but also he's got that dog in him like a lot of us in this locker room do, and you need that in this league. You can't be weak and make it in this league. So definitely thankful for that, and has definitely helped him in his first year just come out here and have a strong start to his head coaching career.
Those mic'd ups, it appears as if you guys love them, and every single time I see a new one, I'm like, oh, I like this guy. You know what I mean? Like, I like what he's saying to Kirk. I like what he's saying into Kirk's ears, because we know about Kirk. Kirk is super religious dude and everything like that, but also one of the most competitive humans of all time. Listening to their kind of back and forth between KOC and Kirk is awesome. Like hearing that, I feel like that's how you learn a lot about people, through his mic'd ups. Even though they edit it, I like watching them because it's like, how are the teammates reacting to this person? When he says something, how's somebody else? And when I watch KOC, watching how everybody responds to him, it's like, this dude, seemingly great guy to play for. They got something good brewing over there in cold-ass Minnesota. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Thielen, at this point in your career, I mean, perennial Pro Bowler, you've played with a lot of really good guys, but Justin Jefferson, I can't remember what it is specifically, but he's about to break one of Randy Moss's records. Is there anything he does at this point that, like, surprises you, or is it just like, holy shit, this guy is unbelievable. I'm so lucky that I get to play on the same field as him?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just comes down to his consistency. A lot of guys can make big plays in this league. A lot of guys can do it for a couple games or maybe for 1 year. But his ability to be so good and to dominate every single week, week in, week out, every single year that he's been in this league, he's been, top 5, top 10 in yards, catches, all that. I mean, it's truly unbelievable, because that every week when they're sitting in their Wednesday install meeting, they're saying, what do we need to do to beat the Vikings? Well, number one thing I guarantee every single team is doing is saying, we got to take away Justin Jefferson. And
180 in the first half he'll have.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. 220 yards a couple weeks ago, record for most yards in a game. And it's like, that's coming after everybody knows that he's going to get the ball. So his ability to take hits, hold on to the ball, he knows now that there's not going to be any of his catches are going to be easy or not contested. So his ability to make those contested catches, hold on to it, his ability to do kind of everything, to run the entire route tree, to be able to run deep, to be able to take the top off defenses, to be able to run choice routes and do the underneath stuff is really unbelievable. And I think it's gave coach a flexibility to kind of move him around and to be able to really be able to not let teams take him away, which is tough to do in this league.
Does he know hand signals and stuff, or no?
Well, we don't actually have a ton of hand signals, but yes, Justin's a smart kid, so he knows his hand signals. And again,
he's young,
in this
man.
league, if you want to get the ball, you better know that stuff, because that's an opportunity to get the ball. If the quarterback's signaling to you, there's probably a good percentage chance that you're getting the football. So you better know those hand signals.
That's weird.
I don't know about anybody in the kitchen cooking bacon, but
Yeah.
Connor has a question for you, Mr. Thielen.
Yeah, Adam, obviously you're a little more north than us, and there's a big old storm coming in. Can we trust what we're reading on these weather maps, one? And two, are you aware of any different travel plans for the Giants because of how, terrible it is? And do you kind of wish you were playing outdoors to maybe have a little more home field advantage?
Hey, that ain't home field advantage.
I do not wish I was playing outdoors. I'm very.
That's a
happy
loss
if-
for everybody. Outdoors in
Yeah,
Minnesota.
that's a lose-lose for everyone. Anybody who says like that's a competitive advantage they're just making up stuff to make themselves feel better. Because no one likes playing in the cold. It doesn't
That
matter
doesn't
if you play
happen.
every home game there or not. No one likes playing in the cold and the snow, all that. Unless you're, maybe a meathead defensive guy.
What?
Don't know any of those people on the show, so. But
I would choose to play in 70 degrees every day if I could, Adam, for sure.
Well, we could. We put
Shots
domes on
fired.
everything, but we'll move on.
Exactly.
We'll move on. I'm
But
sorry.
no, honestly, it is coming down pretty good out there. It's, I believe, when I was driving in, it was like -7 degrees in my car. Feels like -30.
Son of a
So it's a beautiful day here in Minnesota. Just
It's real.
thankfully, we're practicing.
It's always cold over there. No. Minnesota. We cannot say because it's happening in
this way.
Minnesota.
Yeah, it's starting there.
There's no way we're getting Minnesota to Indiana.
Coming this way.
It's always over there.
We saw the map.
always there.
It's always there.
We saw the map earlier. It's coming
Coming.
down from Minnesota.
Thielen, they're saying we're getting Minnesota everywhere. That's basically what they're saying right now. Cancel Christmas. Minnesota's coming to the entire northern portion of the United States of America. It's going to drop 40 degrees. It's going to rain and it's going to freeze.
Hey, tips?
It's like, it's going to be Minnesota. Yeah, what do we need to do here? Put chains on the tires?
Chains on tires, yeah.
I
Look at
will
this.
say, I
Look
will
at this.
say that.
It's purple too. Fucking Vikings just everywhere.
But I will say, if there is a time to have that weather, it'd be around Christmas, where you can stay inside, hang by the fireplace, just
nice.
enjoy some family time, maybe a card game
Grow
or
some
two.
chestnuts.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect time for it to happen.
It's a traveling time. Listen, we're football people, so we haven't had Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's for a large portion of our lives. Outside of the football world, we have all been learning slowly with our dealings with either humans or significant others or anything like that. Hey, these things matter. Okay, this is a real thing. Traveling and investment and everything. So this whole storm coming, shutting down a lot of people's Christmases right now, and this is coming fresh off of 2 COVID Christmases almost.
Yeah.
We're not happy about this. It's supposed to be big. Are you guys ever panicked? Are the meteorologists over there saying it's going to get bad? It's going to get better. Is it it's Minnesota? Does that happen?
Have you guys seen the movie Four Christmases?
Oh,
Yeah,
Of course.
Classic.
great movie.
Classic.
Watched it 2 nights ago.
So that's what you just kind of reminded me of. Maybe it's a good thing that maybe people can't go to their family Christmases. They can just hang out by themselves and they don't have to do the Four Christmases thing,
I don't know if you saw Aaron's book recommendation for the Christmas. Maybe it is good that is happening. We hope everybody stays safe. Minnesota's coming to town. We're not talking about the Vikings. We're just talking about the weather. I would like to talk about this, what you're doing with Caribou Coffee. We got some sent to the office. We can't thank you enough.
So good.
Caribou Coffee. Yeah, here, sorry, it's right here. This is some mud that has been left over.
Mud.
This is whole bean, medium roast, very smooth, tastes delicious. I'm not a coffee guy, but everybody in the office has enjoyed the hell out of it. Caribou Coffee and Adam Thielen also announced they're teaming up to fuel Vikings fans.
Ooh.
For all remaining 2022 Vikings home games, Caribou Perks members, which is the member
Rewards
club,
Program.
get a free small brewed coffee thanks to Adam Thielen. This offer will automatically show up in the guest Caribou Perks accounts.
Wow.
Sign up for Caribou Perks today by texting PERKS, P-E-R-K-S, to 762-CARIBOU. 762 CARIBOU. See link to full offer details here. We assume that'll be down in the comment section. And then there's an asterisk here. Free small brewed coffee reward is valid Saturday, December 17th, past that, or Saturday, December 24th. So this coffee will have to be had this upcoming Saturday on Christmas Eve while you're maybe making some last-minute shopping. If the Minnesota Vikings weather doesn't come to everywhere, you're able to drift out to a Caribou Coffee, get a free one. Limit 1 offer per customer per day. Offer is not valid on orders from order.cariboucoffee.com or Uber Eats. Reward is available in Minnesota, Wisconsin, South Dakota, North Dakota, Iowa, Caribou Perks members. That's really cool. I appreciate everything you do business-wise. Thielen, you do it the right way, pal.
I appreciate that. I'm a big coffee guy, by the way. So Caribou always hooks it up, and Minnesota Company, which is huge. I got to be, as you're showing, I was a barista for a day, which I had no idea what was in some of these drinks, but I can see why people really like them. I'm a straight black coffee guy, no cream, no sugar. So, but it was interesting the orders that were coming through there, but it was fun.
How'd you do? You think you did okay? Anybody boo you? Anybody send the drink back?
No one sent the drink back, but and I got a lot of again, if you put sugar in there and you put a little bit of whipped cream on top, like can you mess that up?
Well, if you're looking for just black mud, yeah.
But nobody's going. I guess nobody's going in and ordering. Is Caribou Coffee? They are, and we apologize. They're like little lattes, Dad. Like there's a bunch of retail stores. It's seemingly Midwestern. Are they also down in Florida?
No, I don't see them much in Florida.
New company? Is this a young company? What is it? What is Caribou Coffee?
They actually just had their 30th birthday. That's why I was doing that.
Nice.
So.
Oh, happy birthday.
Caribou.
Happy birthday.
A Minnesota-based company, and now they're starting to go around the U.S. So there will be a Caribou Coffee near you.
Okay, we hope so.
Hell yeah.
We got them in Pittsburgh.
Almost 500 locations in 19 states and territories.
Congratulations to the Caribou folks.
Love you, Caribou.
Mostly in that upper area.
Cold area.
Yeah.
Keeps you warm there.
Well,
Good mud.
Lawton, Minnesota.
just like the Caribou coffee shops are coming to a town near you, the Minnesota weather is as well. So let's hunker down. Let's enjoy some conversation with our immediate families. Stay away from travel. And let's continue to watch the Minnesota Vikings do their thing. We can't thank you enough for joining us, buddy. Stay safe today on that trip home. I heard it's bad out there.
Yeah, Coach said that, make sure that we're safe traveling home. He didn't cut practice back or didn't get us out of the building any earlier, but he wants us to make sure that we're safe getting home after our full days of work. So don't forget that as well.
Hey, guys, listen, they're saying there's a massive storm coming this afternoon. Obviously, we want you all to drive incredibly cautiously on the way home and everything like that. Should we move practice up? Can't really because we got a full. So
Got meetings, full day.
seems like the storm's coming right at the time we'll be letting you guys out of the building. So take your time. You don't have to be there yesterday. Just go ahead and stay safe on your trip out of there. Coach, we could maybe move it.
Nope.
Can't.
5 down.
Okay, we're down 33-0 at halftime. Okay, so
Got work to do.
we got a lot of shit to do. We can't thank you enough, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Thielen.
Yeah, no!